Moments with God.
Christ in all our thoughts. Psalms 139 verse 23 and 24 says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." Few realize that it is a duty to exercise control over the thoughts and imaginations. It is difficult to keep the undisciplined mind fixed upon profitable subjects. But if the thoughts are not properly employed, religion cannot flourish in the soul. The mind must be preoccupied with sacred and eternal things, or it will cherish trifling and superficial thoughts. Both the intellectual and the moral powers must be disciplined, and they will improve by exercise. In order to understand this matter aright, we must remember that our hearts are naturally depraved, and we are unable of ourselves to pursue a right course. It is only by the grace of God, combined with the most earnest effort on our part, that we can gain the victory. The intellect as well as the heart must be consecrated to the service of God. He has claims upon all there is of us. Few believe that humanity has sunk so low as it has, or that it is so thoroughly bad, so desperately opposed to God as it is. When the mind is not under the direct influence of the Spirit of God, Satan can mold it as he chooses. All the rational powers which he controls he will carnalize. He is directly opposed to God in his tastes, views, preferences, likes and dislikes, choices of things and pursuits, and there is no relish for what God loves or approves, but a delight in those things which he despises. If Christ is abiding in the heart, he will be in all our thoughts. Our deepest thoughts will be of him, his love, his purity. He will fill all the chambers of the mind. Our affections will center about Jesus. All our hopes and expectations will be associated with him. To live the life we now live by faith in the Son of God, looking forward to and loving his appearing, will be the soul's highest joy. He will be the crowning of our rejoicing. Those who have trained the mind to delight in spiritual exercises are the ones who can be translated and not be overwhelmed with the purity and transcendent glory of heaven. This reading was taken from the book In Heavenly Places, Christ in All Our Thoughts. The psalmist said, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts." What are our thoughts? What do we spend time thinking about? We must remember that we are what we think. Maybe you have thoughts that you don't dare express because they're incorrect. It is very difficult to keep the mind disciplined. It is complicated to think about profitable topics. But why? Because it is not our custom. Because we haven't submitted our mind to the divine will. We have let ourselves think about that which we always wanted because our minds are unoccupied. But we should occupy our minds on sacred and eternal things. Our minds will try to upkeep trivial and superficial thoughts, but let us ask God for help so that we can discipline our minds. Our human nature is evil. We are unable to do this on our own, but the only way to change our thoughts is through the renewing grace of God. Satan attacks us with thoughts that try to take us away from God, and through our minds we are tricked into sin, but we must allow Jesus to live in our hearts. Let us think about him and walk with him so that our deepest thoughts may be of God. Let us think about his love, his pureness, his greatness, and the great sacrifice that he has done for you and for me. Let us ask God to guide our faith, to weigh our thoughts, to transform our lives, and to give us a new heart.
Visit www.biblewell.com